that's very important to capture the reader with the first, I mean, if you're a new writer starting out, you have to get him with the first sentence.
It's what you leave out, what you don't tell them, and when you tell them. You begin a story with, as I said, with character, and the best thing to do is have them acting right away. The way you grip the reader is to start your story. Start with what's the trouble. You know, Flannery O'Connor begins a short story with, the grandmother didn't want to go to California. Or Florida, I think it was, that's it. The grandmother didn't want to go to Florida. Good Man Is Hard to Find begins that way. The debate about whether or not they're going to go to Florida. All the great stories tell you what the conflict is in the first paragraph, and the rest of it unfolds from that.
You have to front load your book. Put all the best, pack the front of the book, because that's all the editor's going to see. In fact, all the editor's going to see is the first sentence. If the editor, the easiest thing for him to do is to put a rejection slip on the manuscript. So when he sees a manuscript from someone who he doesn't recognize, you know, he's reaching for his rejection slip, but if you catch his eye with the first sentence, then he'll read the second sentence. And if the first page pleases him, then he might sit down on the couch and read more of it. And you have to keep seducing him into finishing the whole manuscript.
I feel my more immediate job is simply to win the reader over immediately. I don't think someone has to be, I don't believe that someone should have to be a patient reader, that they should give it a try and keep working at it. I feel that, you know, the voice should win the reader over immediately. And so I work at it until I get that. And my editor number 2, Jane Rosenman, I've heard her say, when someone says to her, what are people looking for? What does publishers want these days? What are they publishing? And she said, what I'm looking for is to fall in love on the first page.
I just try to be honest at every point of it. Like, I don't know who your readers are not necessarily who you think they're going to be. I've gotten letters from a variety of people, and my main character is a gay woman, and that's not my audience. It's not an audience of gay women, though there are probably some. I get letters. I get a lot of people from people who don't normally read all that much, who've picked it up and it sort of strikes them as something nice and they like it, and other people too. But you know, sort of more literary types too. But you can't be writing with a reader over your shoulder, trying to please a particular reader. But you have to be honest. One way or another, it has to be honest. It has to be coming out from your gut feeling, from your heart feeling, or to me, it just won't do it. I can kind of tell when a book doesn't have that. You can sort of tell when somebody's trying to knock out something. You know, like mystery's really good now. Let's see if I can pull one off. And I find myself sort of going, not bad. Then I sit it down. You can kind of tell.
Part of it is leaving questions that are going to be carried over to the next scene. You don't give all the answers, but you pique the reader's attention so that they want to know, and then they go on to the next scene or the next chapter. I usually like to leave my chapters in a very suspenseful state where you don't know what the next action is going to be, but you want to know, and then you go on. And those are the little tricks you learn along the way. Nobody can teach you the emotional part of writing, the drive, all those things somehow have to come in you. But technique can be taught.